Hey book friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the video I am so excited to film for you guys. I'm so excited to share with you because I have been working on this for a while. You guys, you know, if you've been watching this channel, I love making TBRs. I love just the stacks of books. I love the potential of that. And I'm honestly fairly good at reading the books on my TBR. And then on top of that, I love watching TBR games here on YouTube. Naturally, I decided to make my own TBR game, and I called it TBR University in honor of the fact that I used to be a college professor, and so I love academics. I'll be sharing how to play the game. I will be playing my first month, which I'm so excited. So stay tuned and we'll get to all of that. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel if you're new. Welcome back if you've been coming for a while. So like I said, this is my first month playing my new TBR game. I called this game TBR University. Like I said, I used to be a college professor. I love academics. And so I thought, what better month to start this game in than September? It's kind of the new and fresh year. So the way I designed this game is based on a college course. Like every month is a college course. And so I will always start at the syllabus and I will end at the final. And there's like pop quizzes and extra credit, and I'll get into all of that. But that's the general idea. And there's a couple things that will be different every month just to keep it fun and entertaining. But before I flip this around and play the game, I did want to kind of shout out all of the many YouTubers that have TBR games that I have used in some variety of inspiration to make my own board. I love Stephanie from Stephanie's Bookverse. She plays TBR Star Hop. Becca from Becca in the Books. Bookopoly, even though she doesn't really play it that much anymore, I still love watching her old videos. I love Eleanor Reed. She plays I think it's called TBR Bluff, and so on and so on. There's so many. And I'll link the ones I've mentioned down below and maybe some extras if you also like TBR games. So I'm gonna flip the camera around, show you the board, kind of give you a tour. The basic instructions, it's very, very simple. It's a simple game. And then we'll play my first round for my TBR for September. Okay, so the way this works is it's really straightforward. I start on syllabus, I have to get to final, and I collect books and prompts as I go. And here's my stack of cards for prompts. And really, there's two things I have to do ahead of time before I can get started. And first is to decide if I have a hard or easy professor. So this is the way I decided to handle kind of like a punishment idea, like how well do I do on the previous month's TBR? If I succeed at it, I take the easy route. And the easy route is basically going around the board but not taking a stop off on these extra little circles. But if, say, I did not read my TBR from the previous month, then I would add extra stop offs. It just adds 6 extra spots, but it potentially adds extra books. So that's the first thing that will be decided at the beginning of every month. And for this month of September, I will be just taking the easy route. I have an easy professor here. The second thing I need to do before I start the game is decide what kind of course I'm working with here. And I decided this is where I bring in my genres. And so each course, each month will have a genre theme. And I'm going to use my phone and I'm going to do a spinner wheel. And you can see in this first month, I'm just kind of keeping it very straightforward. I'm not quite sure how this is going to go. I just kept it with like a mystery thriller category as well as a sci-fi fantasy category and then other. Other being the other things on my shelf, which are like contemporary, historical fiction, romance, things like that. So I was just kind of looking at my shelves and those are the things that are present. So I'm going to spin this for the first month. Oh, this makes me so nervous. Mystery thriller. Okay, I can do that. Oh, that's perfect for September. I have so many plans for that. Okay, mystery thriller for September. And now let me just explain the squares and then let's just do this. So here you can see circles. Black circles are what I'm calling assignments in our course, our mystery thriller easy professor course this month. And so if I land on any assignments, even these ones are actually technically assignments. They're just where I will pull a prompt from the top here. And then these squares though that are colored are the themed based tests. So assignments and tests kind of make up the course, which when I was putting together my courses for university, that's what I would do is I would kind of have assignments and tests. Now the tests are also a prompt card, but in the case of the tests, they have to be genre specific. So this is where the genre actually makes a difference. Here I can pull any genre, any book I want, but if I land on any of these tests, I have to do like, I already looked at this, like a 5-star prediction that's also a mystery thriller for this month. just for an example. And so that's how I am doing the tests. And so I could go all the way through just doing that. And then I have these things here that are obviously not necessarily known throughout the course. Like you could get a pop quiz or extra credit that's not on the syllabus. And so if I get a pop quiz, that means I have to pull 2 prompts. I have to pull one prompt for one book and another prompt for another book. And that's how I would run pop quizzes. Now, extra credit though is kind of the opposite. That means I do not have to pick a book. So extra credit means it's kind of a free space, if you will. It's not a free pick, it's a free space, no book. Pop quiz, 2 books. And then the final is where I'm going to have another spinner wheel. In this case, this is based on my goals for the year. So certain TBRs, like my big yearly TBRs or my seasonal TBRs, you'll see that when we get to that, and I will just run that for the final square and pick a book. That's the journal setup. Let's just see how this goes. All right, now I'm kind of nervous. All right, first roll, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is just a prompt with water on the cover. Okay, water on the cover. Let me go look for some books and get back to you. Okay, water on the cover. Oh, this is a little hard. I have a mystery thriller, but I don't have to because this was just an assignment prompt. I have The Last One by Will Dean. I got this from the library. But I also have this book. So it's Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. I am doing a buddy read with a friend of mine for this book. And so I think that this is water. It's hard to say because you're talking sci-fi, right? It looks like a planet and it has water-esque vibes to me. So I think, oh man, because this one sounds really good because this has to do with like a person who is on a cruise line and then wakes up all by herself, I think. And I've been wanting to try a Will Dean. I think I'll go though. I think I'll go with this one. I think I'm gonna pick Leviathan Wakes because I'm going to read it anyway. I do know it's the first book in like this epic space opera series. Humanity is colonizing the solar system, and there's this pilot, Jim Holden, that has a secret of some sort. I'm sure it goes a lot further than that, but I've been really wanting to try it. Okay, so that's first book. Book number 1. Okay, roll number 2. Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now this, I have to pick a mystery thriller now. Okay, let's see what the card is. Name in the title? Name in the title. Okay. Okay, let me see what I can find. Okay, guys, this was hard. And I almost was like, oh, I could use girls or guest. But then I saw this book. So I'm going to be reading the latest Holly Jackson. Actually, I haven't read a Holly Jackson. I've been meaning to read the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. But I have the reappearance of Rachel Price. I'm excited to read this book. I've heard mixed things, so I'm trying to not listen to those mixed things and just kind of form my own opinion. So what I know this book to be about is it's an 18-year-old girl who's lived her life in the shadow of her mom's disappearance. So her mom being Rachel Price. And then I think there's like a podcast or something, a true crime documentary is documenting the case of her mother and trying to figure it out and all this stuff, interviewing people. And then her mother comes back and we could hear kind of what happened, or we get to the bottom of what happened. So I am looking forward to this. I did just recently pick it up because I was curious about it. All right, third roll. 7. 1, 2. Okay. A title starting with a random letter. Okay, I can do that. Let me just get my phone out and we'll do that. Okay, so I found a random number generator here, and we're just I'm gonna do it with you instead of screen record. Okay, so I'm gonna hit spin, hold it up. Okay, we're gonna focus on it together. L. Okay, I can do that. I can pick a book that starts with L. No, it's not L. I was looking at it in the screen. It's a J. My gosh. Okay, I'll find a book with a J. So I had only one book. Let me grab it. On my shelves. And it's Jade Fire Gold, which is a young adult fantasy. I'm just not sure I'm in the mood for that this month. I'm more in the mood for mystery thrillers. Even though I don't have to pick one, I'm gonna go with Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubica, the same author as Local Woman Missing. I haven't read any of her books, and so I'm gonna try this one. This has to do with a husband that goes missing. There's a few couples, I think, and the husband goes missing and the wife doesn't seem to notice, or they had like a fight, and so she was kind of expecting it, but then he just isn't coming back, and then her and her friends like start looking into it. I'm not quite sure what else has to go on there, but I'm going to check it out. I'm gonna get the audiobook right now. So Just the Nicest Couple. That's what I'm gonna put on my TBR. Okay, roll 3. So those are my books so far. 4. Oh, I'm going this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, popcorn is. So that means I need to add 2 books. Okay. I thought I was going to get away with a 4-book TBR. Okay, so I need to find a book with a one-word title and a book with a favorite trope. Okay, I can do that. Those are really, really generic prompts, except for the one-word title. That might be harder. Okay, let me get back to you. Okay, so for one-word title, I picked this one. I actually had a number of books I could pick, but being that it's September, I thought this would be a perfect one. So this is Cackle by Rachel Harrison. Now, I'm not quite sure about this book, but it's described as a darkly funny, frightening novel about a young woman meeting a witch who might be too good to be true. So it sounds like this character, our main character, Annie, has been dumped by her long-term boyfriend, and she is moving out of the city, out of Manhattan, into like a town, a quaint town up north, where she meets Sophie. And Sophie is very magnetic, and just she is like drawn to her, but the town is kind of afraid of her, and she's not quite sure if she's a witch. It just sounds kind of fun. It just sounds kind of fun. So Cackle, I'm gonna put that on my TBR. And then I also had favorite trope. Favorite trope. Okay, easy. That's so easy. I love puzzles. I love puzzles in books. And I am also on the 3rd book of the Inheritance Game trilogy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and the 3rd book is called The Final Gambit. I'm reading this as a read-along for Gwen's Patreon. I always link her down below, but we're reading this together, and it's been a really fun time, and I love this series. Yes, it's YA. Yes, there's some kind of angsty stuff going on, but I really love the puzzles. I really love the world, and it's just about this girl named Avery who's down on her luck, who inherits a bunch of money, and she doesn't know this person, and so she goes to the will reading, and it changes her life. There's a lot of things that happen from there, and her trying to figure out kind of what her connection is to this whole family. So this is the 3rd book, and I'm super excited to read it again. It's a really fun one. So I'll put that on my TBR. So we have 5 books so far. Not too bad. I bet we will hopefully will be one more book. All right. Hopefully last roll. I really think, unless I am unlucky, this is the last one. Yes. All right. Final. So let me pull up my spinner wheel and we will pick our last book. I have my spinner wheel here. I'll just pop the picture up this time, but let me explain the 5 categories. So what we have is we have buddy reads. So this is a variety of things. I often am reading books with other people, and if they haven't been picked so far in the TBR, then this is a great time to do that, because I had the goal of being more in the community and different things like that. So buddy reads, series. I'm always wanting to continue in series. Yearly TBRs. So for me, that's the 24 and 24, as well as my Our Fantasy Bingo, are some of my yearly TBRs. Book of the months. I'm not sure if I like officially made this a goal, but in my head, I'm always trying to read my book of the month books. And then I also have seasonal TBRs. And so whatever's latest. And so in this case, I would work off my summer TBR. I'm working on a spooky season TBR that should be coming fairly soon. But as for right now, all I have is summer. So, okay, what we're gonna do then, I will spin it here and go from there. Okay. What's it gonna be? Series? Yes, series. Series book. Okay. Let me think about this. Okay, guys. So this was perfect. This was perfect. Series continuation. I'm going to be reading The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. So this is the third book in the Thursday Murder Club series, and I have really enjoyed these books. I've really enjoyed the people mostly, and I know that they are kind of cozy mysteries, but to me, the people win out on this, and that's what makes me love them. I'm also reading this as part of my reading challenge on Discord, always linked below. So if you want to join me in this, this is our buddy read for September, and this again follows Elizabeth, Joyce, Ron, Ibram as they chase down a murderer. This is based on a decade-old cold case, but then something brings Elizabeth more involved, like a new foe pays Elizabeth a visit. Her mission, kill or be killed. So that just sounds so good, and I just really do enjoy the banter between the characters. I enjoy kind of them solving these mysteries. I enjoy the fact that they're like 70 years old in a retirement community, and so yes, if you have not read this yet, join me. I would love to hear from you in the Discord. It's a very casual reading challenge that I run over there, and so I will be reading this for my series continuation books. Let's look at my TBR. So it's really not that bad, you guys. It's really not that bad. Oh my gosh. This plus the audiobook, it was Just the Nicest Couple by Mary Kubicki. I'll look that up. I'll look up how to say her name so I don't butcher it again. But Just the Nicest Couple, and then The Bullet That Missed, The Final Gambit, Cackle, The Reappearance of Rachel Price, and Leviathan Wakes. So that's not too bad of a stack. So that's 6 books. And again, according to my new game, I need to read all of these in September, and if I don't, then I have to take the harder route or have a harder professor, if you will, come October's TBR. So that was really fun, you guys. That's a fun little stack. That was a fun way to pick some of the books, especially these books that have been on my shelves for a while, although I did kind of pick up some extra library books just in case. I didn't really use them, but that's okay. That's okay. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know down below what you think of my new game. Let me know if you have any thoughts or ideas or advice for how I set it up, because I'm giving myself a little time to kind of work out the kinks. But what I love is these are based on kind of monthly TBRs, and maybe come next semester in January, if I have some things to switch up, I will. But otherwise, that's my plan. That's my September TBR. I don't think I have anything else to add to it. Although I might add this book. I might add this book because I've been always wanting to read it, and I always save it for September. The Only Plane in the Sky, An Oral History of 9/11. So that's a potential that goes on there, but it's not officially on my TBR. And so you guys, I hope you're doing well, and let me know down below what you think. But if you just enjoyed the video and have nothing to say, maybe put a fox emoji down below just to let me know you are here. And yes, but also, obviously, please let me know your thoughts on all these books. I hope you all are well, and I will see you in the next book video. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.